Every Halloween, the old Ravenwood School appeared again, doors creaking open, lights flickering in empty classrooms, though it had been abandoned for decades. The streets whispered warnings, "Don't enter after dark." But curiosity never listens. When 16-year-old Lily dared to step inside, the halls seemed alive, echoing laughter, footsteps, and voices she recognized, yet couldn't place. Shadows twisted unnaturally. Chalkboards scrawled themselves with names of students long gone, and the smell of decay mixed with something sickly sweet. Something was waiting for her, and it wasn't human. By the time the clock struck midnight, Lily realized the horrifying truth. Ravenwood didn't just reopen every Halloween. It claimed anyone who dared cross its threshold. Stay until the end. The final horror will haunt you forever. The town of Greyridge had long learned to avoid the empty streets past the old Ravenwood School. Parents whispered stories of children who vanished, of teachers who had never left, and of a curse older than the town itself. Lily had grown up on those stories. She'd heard them from her grandmother, from classmates, and even from her own mother, who insisted the school was off limits. But curiosity is a dangerous companion for a teenager, and Halloween brought with it a thrill that was impossible to resist. Dressed in a simple black cloak and carrying a flashlight, Lily approached the school just as dusk fell. The once pristine brick facade was now cracked, ivy strangling its walls, and windows staring like dark, hollow eyes. Yet tonight, something felt different. The heavy wooden doors groaned open as if inviting her in. Stepping inside, Lily's flashlight flickered against peeling wallpaper and dusty floors. A chill ran down her spine. The air smelled of decay and something sweeter, sugar, candy, faintly burning candles. The silence was complete, yet filled with expectation, as if the building were holding its breath. She moved cautiously through the hallways, eyes catching glimpses of old portraits, students frozen mid-smile in sepia-toned photographs. Their eyes seemed to follow her. Lily had always been brave, sometimes recklessly so. The stories never scared her. They intrigued her. But tonight the stories didn't feel like stories. They felt like warnings she had failed to heed. And then she heard it. The faint sound of footsteps echoing hers. Only she was alone, wasn't she? Every corner she turned, every classroom she entered seemed untouched by time. Desks were stacked, chalkboards still scrawled with names of children long gone. The clock in the hallway struck 8, then 9, each chime echoing louder than it should, resonating in her chest. She was no longer just exploring. She was being watched. A sudden gust of wind blew through the open windows, slamming doors behind her, and the faint laughter of children filled the halls. Lily froze. The laughter was high-pitched, echoing, overlapping, some familiar, some distorted beyond recognition. She shined her flashlight down the hallway. Shadows moved, not cast by anything she could see, but twisting along walls, stretching across floors, forming shapes almost human, almost not. Her curiosity compelled her further. She entered the gymnasium, where decades-old banners hung, torn and faded. The floorboards creaked under her weight, and then she saw them, footprints. Tiny, muddy footprints leading across the gym, as if the children had just run through, leaving no one behind but their echoes. She followed them. In the back of the gym, an old door led to the basement. Everyone in Greyridge said the basement was forbidden, but Lily felt pulled toward it, as if an invisible hand guided her. She opened the door, descending into darkness, the air growing colder with each step. She reached the bottom and saw a mural on the wall, a large painting of the school, but the children's faces were blurred, twisted in expressions of fear and pain. And at the center, a shadowy figure, smiling, with eyes that seemed to pierce her soul. She turned to leave, but the stairs had disappeared. The basement was no longer a basement. It was a chamber, walls shifting, ceilings lowering, darkness moving closer. And the whispers began. Stay. Stay forever. Lily's flashlight flickered, casting erratic shadows along walls that seemed to breathe. Each hallway she tried to run through elongated, twisted, and led her back to the same place, the basement chamber. The whispers grew louder, blending with footsteps, laughter, and cries of despair. Her pulse pounded as the floor beneath her feet shifted like waves. She tried screaming, but her voice was swallowed by the darkness. The murals on the walls seemed to animate, faces of children stretching, morphing, some reaching out with ghostly hands. Lily stumbled backward, her flashlight falling and rolling across the floor. When it landed, she saw a figure standing at the far end. Tall, black cloak, face obscured by shadow, yet eyes glowing red. The figure beckoned her forward. Lily's instincts screamed to run, but her legs refused. She felt herself drawn, hypnotized by the figure's presence. The whispers merged into one coherent voice. "You must join us." Suddenly, a gust of wind blew, and the figure split into dozens of smaller figures. Children, their faces pale, eyes empty, hovering above the floor. They circled her, laughing, crying, whispering her name. The basement became a whirlwind of shadows and spectral light. Lily felt herself pulled upward, her body floating as if gravity no longer applied. In panic, she slammed her hands on the floor. The flashlight rolled again, illuminating a door at the far end. It had never been there before. Through it, a dim light glowed, warm, inviting, familiar. Lily's memories flashed, her own childhood, playing in sunlight, the scent of candy on Halloween mornings, laughter from her friends. The warmth pulled her, promising safety, but the shadows resisted. Hands emerged from walls, floors, and ceilings, grabbing her cloak, tugging her back. Their voices hissed. "You cannot leave. You promised to stay!" Lily screamed as she fought against invisible forces. Each second stretched into eternity. Suddenly she remembered the stories. Every child who entered the school after sunset on Halloween had disappeared forever. Each had been claimed by the school, trapped in its walls, added to its whispers. She realized the school wasn't just haunted. It was alive, feeding on curiosity, trapping souls, growing stronger every Halloween. Her only chance was the door. She lunged, breaking free from the spectral hands. The warm light enveloped her as she ran through, leaving shadows clawing at her back. She burst into a courtyard she had never seen before, a place bathed in soft moonlight. For a moment she thought she was safe. Then she noticed the clock tower. It had hands, ticking backward. Each tick reversed time, bringing the darkness closer. From the shadows, the black figure emerged again, looming over the courtyard. Its face was still obscured, but its eyes burned red, and its grin widened. The whispers intensified. "You cannot escape." The school remembers. It waits. It hungers. Lily realized that leaving the courtyard might not be enough. She needed to destroy the school, sever its hold, but every door, every window, every wall seemed to shift, keeping her trapped within its supernatural maze. She ran to the main building, intent on reaching the old principal's office, rumored to hold the school's history, and perhaps a way to break its curse. Floors creaked and walls warped, but she pressed on. Each hallway contained the echoes of children, ghosts frozen in eternal torment. Their voices pleaded, cursed, whispered, laughed. Lily's mind teetered on the edge of sanity. Finally, she reached the office. Inside, dusty bookshelves loomed, papers strewn across the floor. On the desk lay a single book, its pages glowing faintly. The school's ledger, documenting every child who had entered and never returned. Flicking through it, Lily found names, hundreds of them, dating back over a century. And there, scrawled at the bottom in fresh ink, Lily. The walls trembled. Shadows surged like a tidal wave, screaming, howling, hungry for her soul. The black figure stood behind her, its presence radiating death. She realized too late that stepping into the school on Halloween was not a mistake she could undo. Lightning cracked outside, illuminating the office, revealing the truth. The black figure was not just a ghost. It was the embodiment of every child the school had claimed, a monstrous accumulation of anger, sorrow, and hunger. Its body flickered between human and shadow, grinning in ways that should have been impossible. Lily clutched the ledger, desperate. She recited the names of the trapped children, calling out to them, trying to appease the darkness. But it only laughed, the sound echoing like a chorus of tortured souls. Lily clutched the ledger, desperate. She recited the names of the trapped children, calling out to them, trying to appease the darkness. But it only laughed, the sound echoing like a chorus of tortured souls. She tried to escape through the windows, but they led back into hallways she had already traversed. Every step forward was a loop. She was trapped. The school's true form revealed. A living, breathing entity, endless corridors stretching into black infinity, waiting to claim her forever. The black figure lunged. Lily felt its cold hands wrap around her, pulling her into the void. The ledger slipped from her grasp. Its pages fluttered, glowing faintly before disappearing. Her screams were swallowed by shadows. As the clock struck midnight, the school's doors slammed shut, and silence returned to Greyridge. Outside, nothing appeared disturbed. The streetlight morning came. The townspeople saw nothing unusual. Ravenwood School appeared abandoned once more. Yet parents noticed something odd. A small black cloak lying on the steps. A flashlight partially melted from some unseen fire. Lily was never seen again. Some claimed they saw her silhouette in the windows at night, wandering hallways, adding to the school's whispers. Others said she had become part of its curse, a guardian and a warning for curious souls. Over the years, every Halloween, the school reopened. The doors creaked, lights flickered, and children dared each other to enter. No one could stay past midnight. Every child who crossed the threshold added to the shadows, swelling the black figure's power. Greyridge learned to fear Halloween more than any holiday. Families told children stories, warning them to avoid the school at all costs. The old legends became truths. The school was alive, insatiable, and it remembered. Even today, if you walk past Ravenwood School on Halloween, you might see a light flicker, hear distant laughter, or a whisper calling your name. And if curiosity pushes you through its doors, the school will open its arms and claim you too. The shadows are patient. They wait for those who dare enter, and they never forget. Flickered. A single whisper echoed in the night. Next year. Every Halloween, Ravenwood waits. Curiosity kills and the school never forgives.